Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Rocha, Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Double honors to my elder, Ahdawam Ban Yasharala of the Lions Den Camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. Shalom to the sincere Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm Nakar Harab Ban Yasharala, coming out of the Lions Den Camp of Yasharala here in Jacksonville, Florida. Now today I'll be coming out with a lesson on another article. And it's right here. It says ICE arrests of U.S. military veterans and their relatives are on the rise. A country that you say they fought for. So basically Esau is now deporting those who fought and received injuries and all this stuff for his war machine. I mean his country. And now this devil is deporting them. Let's go through it. It says the son of an American citizen and military veteran who has no citizenship to any country was deported from the U.S. to Jamaica in late May. It says Jermaine Thomas's deportation. His name Jermaine Thomas. Deportation, recently reported on by the Austin Chronicle, is one of the growing numbers of immigration cases involving military service members, relatives, or even veterans themselves who have been ensnared in the Trump's mass Trump's administration mass deportation program. Administration mass deportation. That's a lot. But let's continue. It says, as the Chronicle reported, Thomas was born on a U.S. Army base in Germany to an American citizen father who was originally born in Jamaica but is now deceased. Thomas did not have or does not have U.S., German, or Jamaican citizenship, but Trump's Immigration and Customs Enforcement deported him anyway to Jamaica, a country which he had never stepped foot. It says Thomas had spent 2.5 months incarcerated while waiting for an update on this case. They were just trying to drum some mess up on this devil. He said not this devil, but of course he was a Jake. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to make up something like these devils do. That's all they do. They just make up stuff. It says, but he was previously at the center of a case brought before the U.S. Supreme Court regarding his unique legal status. This is the federal government argued that Thomas, who had previously received a deportation order, was not a citizen simply because he was born Salakia on a U.S. Army base. And it used prior criminal convictions to buttress the case against him. See, that's why they held him so long. They were drumming up charges. It says he petitioned for a review of the order, but the Supreme Court denied him. That's how you know it was on some BS. The deceitful man. It says finding his father did not meet physical presence requirements of the law in force at the time of Thomas's birth. But let's continue. It says from Jamaica, Thomas is told the Chronicle, if you're in the U.S. Army and the Army deploys you somewhere and you've got so basically, if you have your child in that country and your child makes a mistake after you pass away and you put your life on the line for this country, are you going to be okay with them just kicking your child out of the country? Basically, it was like, yeah. He added in reference to his father. Okay, that's what him saying. It was just a Memorial Day in late May. And it says you're disrespecting his service and legacy. This is what Thomas said to these Edomites. It says in recent months, U.S. military veterans, family members have been increasingly detained by immigration officers as the administration continues pressing for mass deportations. A U.S. Marine veteran, during an interview, said he felt betrayed after immigration officials beat and arrested his father at a landscaping job. The arrested man had moved from to the U.S. from Mexico in the 90s without documentation, but was detained by ICE agents this month while doing landscaping work at a restaurant in Santa Ana, California. It says, in another case, the wife of another Marine Corps veteran was detained by ICE despite still breastfeeding her 3-month-old daughter. According to the Associated Press, the veteran's wife had been going through a process to obtain legal residency. The Trump administration has ramped up efforts to detain and deport people nationwide. During a May meeting, the White House officials pressed ICE to increase its daily arrest to 3,000 people a day. That would result in 1 million people being arrested annually by ICE, meaning yearly. It said, excuse me, following the tense meeting, ICE officials have increased, officers have increased their enforcement operations, including detaining an increasing number of people with no criminal record. You remember when they first was coming out with that, talking about we're only going to be messing with those with criminal records. If they're not documented, how can they have a criminal record? How do you know that they're a criminal? So you can't trust this devil ever. But again, it says here, ICE officials have increased their enforcement operations, including detaining an increasing number of people with no criminal record. Being undocumented is a civil infraction, not a crime. Of course, you know this devil. You can't trust this devil. Let's continue. It says, according to a recent I guess this Guardian analysis, meaning that I guess this what the article is. It says, as of mid-June, ICE data shows that there were more than 11,700 people in immigration detention arrested by the agency, despite no record of them being charged or convicted of a crime. This represents a staggering 1,271% increase from data released on those in detention immediately after preceding the start of Trump's second term. It says in March, ICE officials have arrested the daughter of a U.S. veteran who had been fighting a legal battle regarding her status. Alma Brown, 58, was taken into custody by ICE during a check-in at the Atlanta field office, despite her having lived in the U.S. since she was 10 years old. It says Bowman was born in the Philippines during the Vietnam War to a U.S. Navy service member from Illinois stationed there. She had lived in Georgia for almost 50 years. Her permanent residency was revoked following a minor criminal conviction from 20 years ago. They probably did something like she got a ticket or something. You know how these devils do. Leading to her continued legal battle to obtain citizenship in the U.S. This is previously Bowman was detained by ICE at a troubled facility in Georgia, where non-consensual gynecological procedures were allegedly performed on detained women. In 2020, she had been a key witness for attorneys and journalists regarding the controversy. So they just got up out of it so that wouldn't get exposed. But nonetheless, do you see the pattern that this devil is going according to? All the deportees have been who? Jake. Northern Kingdom, mostly. But probably Southern Kingdom because, whoever their father was probably was in Thailand, like I said, or the Philippines or Vietnam or wherever. You know what I'm saying? Planting seed, being fruitful and multiplying. So, but in the eyes of this devil, he trying to cleanse the earth of righteousness. That's really what he's trying to do. But he's targeting the apples of the Lord's eye. The apple of the Lord's eye, his people. And that has a extreme drawback. It's called judgment. Let's continue. Again, in 2020, she had been a key witness for attorneys and journalists regarding the controversy, or according to an interview with The Intercept. I guess that's another news platform. Says from that year, Bowman said she always thought she was a U.S. citizen. But let's continue. It says in another recent case, a U.S. Army veteran, green card holder. Oh, okay. Left his own South Korea. Oh. His deportation order was due to charges related to drug possession and an issue with drug addiction after being wounded in combat in the 1980s. That was kind of a thing from guys that came out of Nam. They had problems with the drug problems. A lot of them, yeah. When they went over there and saw what they seen, yeah, they came back with drug problems. They kind of showed you that in the movie Dead Presidents, where they had Chris Tucker, what it is, Lorenz Tate, and a couple of other Jakes that was in the movie, and they was about getting money. Well, Chris Tucker was one of the ones that character he played was one of the ones that went over to Nam during that time, and he had seen some horrific things. So when he came back, he had a drug addiction. So they basically doing this to this Jake. He South Korea, but still he could be a Jake or just a foreigner. That they just leaned on because this little campaign that this devil is going on. But nonetheless, it's saying, with this that's what these devils try to use old dead past things. So that's why they got him. But but they say he earned the Purple Heart or prestigious. Well, yeah, but and he said here he can't believe it's happening. His name was Sejong Park. It says who held permanent legal residency. Oh, it says he told her now. She said that blows him away. He said it's like he's like this. I fought for this place. Yeah, that's what happens. You do for this devil, and then he throws you away after he's either done or you no longer serve a purpose, or he has some other more what's that word I'm looking for? A more it's I forget what it is. But a more malicious plan in order. So let's get a few scriptures. This is Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 verse 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So you should never ever trust your enemy. And a lot of these people that was in this article, most of them was Jake, they trusted the enemy, and we all know who the enemy is. It says just like iron will rust or start to oxidize if left out in the rain or in the water, or left in the water for a while, that water started to get up under that oxide layer, or that whatever that layer is on the top of metal, it starts to oxidize, and that's where you get that rust from. And it says, so is his wickedness. So just like iron is guaranteed to rust if left out in the water, or just going to guaranteed to rust and left out in the elements, that's how Esau's wickedness is. He's guaranteed to be wicked. No matter what he tries to say, no matter how he tries to come, he is guaranteed to be wicked, guaranteed to be evil, to do something that is detrimental to others outside of himself, but he doesn't know that it's ultimately going to be detrimental to himself. The border of wicked, or the wicked one, the bloody man, the deceitful man, the liar, the thief, and the murderer. Let's continue. Verse 11, it says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. So though this devil comes humble, though this devil comes like he's on your side, he's for you, yeah, you did this and we're going to help you out and we're going to make sure everything is right, and we're going to just make sure we push it through and all this stuff, and all these whoop wop and whoop bop and all these empty inflated promises. Though he go crouching, making it seem like he's on your side, the Lord says, take good heed, meaning pay attention. Beware of him. Be cautious of this devil, and you will be unto him as if you have wiped a looking glass. And being cautious of this devil and paying attention and watching like you're supposed to when he comes around, it'll be just like if you found a looking glass or a spyglass, whatever you want to call it, a telescope, and you found it and it was all dirty and filthy. You be like, hey, this look kind of, you pick it up and you do all that cleaning and get it all cleaned up, and then when you get ready to look through it, guess what? It's still dirty. Same thing with this devil. He's still wicked. No matter what you do for him, no matter what services you render unto him, he is still wicked. Period. And they're showing their wickedness on an everyday basis. But for some reason, 2/3 of our people are just dumb and can't figure it out and don't understand to just walk away from this devil. But hey, that's how the Lord got it set up. But you got to be careful of this devil. Because and again, when you pay attention to him, you seem like, yep, see, I told you. I knew you wasn't right. That's what that is. Looking at this devil. Sirach, chapter 12, verse 11. It's just like paying attention and you like, yeah, let me see. I knew it. There you go. But let's continue. You know what? Verse 12. It says, set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. So the Lord said, the Lord don't even set this devil by you. Don't let this devil in the inner workings of you. How you do? No, don't let him sit by you at all. Whatever. No, you can't come over here, dog. Because when this devil find the opportunity to overthrow you, he gonna try to stand up in your place. He gonna try to sit in your spot because he wants your position. Don't sit him by your right hand. Don't give him no power. Don't give him no position of prestige. Don't do that. Unless he take your space, take your seat, and you remember the words of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua or any advice that you was told at the latter end. Like, you know what, I shouldn't have trusted. And guess what? That's the same thing with these jakes in this article. They like, and now they like, I shouldn't never ever trusted this lying Mother Hubbard. But 2/3 of our people did, and 2/3 of our people still do. Let's continue. Verse 13, I'm gonna jump down. Oh, I'm gonna keep going, shall I say. It says, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with the serpent, or any such as come now a wild beast? So who's gonna pity a charmer? And we know what charmers is, snake charmers. They around here playing with snakes. Look over there in India where they be having that little ear, and the snake supposed to like come up and they be charming the snake. Was who's going to pity that same charmer that snake turn around and bite them? Same thing with our people. They want to charm the snake, but the snake done bit them, and they full of the venom, and it turns them into a zombie snake, and then they go and bite other people, and now you got this whole thing of wickedness just all over the place. Meaning they just take up and do what this devil wants to do. They follow his system and his criteria and how he lives and everything. That's what it means. They try to perpetuate that unto others. Or it says, or any such as come now wild beasts. Yeah, not to mess around with wild beasts. Let's say one. Let's say a wild boar with them tusks. You don't go, oh, this pig like all the other pig. No, that's a boar. That's not a pig. That's a boar. It is different from a regular domesticated farm. Well, I say farm pig because you can have pigs on your farm. You just can't eat them, man. The Lord tell you don't touch them. Don't eat them. But yeah, a wild boar, guess what? They'll gore the fire. They'll gore you up. They got them tusks. They'll rip you open it'll be like a razor blade. So like if anybody that doesn't understand, you go near a wild beast, like how it basically should you feel bad for a snake charmer getting bit by a snake, or some person going near a wild beast and getting ripped to shreds? Should you feel bad? Who will pity? Who's gonna feel bad? Really, no one. And guess what? That's what Jake is feeling here in this article. Let me see. Okay, I'm almost. Okay, let me cut down on the talking. Do some more breaking down scriptures. I'm gonna jump down to verse 16. Hold on, let me check something real quick. Okay. Verse 16 back at Sirach chapter 12. It says, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. So an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips. What does this devil do? Let's get that. Let's get that real quick, and I'm gonna go back. Come on now. Now, it says, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagines how to throw thee into a pit. That's Sirach. This is Psalms 55, verse 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they are drawn swords. So this devil comes speaking sweetly. His words sound good. Hey, yeah, thank you for your service. Yeah, we're going to make sure that sound good. We're going to give you the benefits you're going to get. And you can guarantee they benefited. These jakes, they benefited off that. And you can bet your bottom dollar these devils knew. They knew already. They just coming after them. But they already knew. But the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. So this devil's words are soft and smooth. They sound good, but he really has intention on destroying you. His words may be softer than oil. They may be sweet to the ears, but they really are drawn swords. It's like Esau's words are backhanded compliments. Give you a compliment in the front, but straight up try you and disrespect you at the back of it, because that's really how you feel. Now let's go back to Sirach. 12 and 16. It says, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagined how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. So an enemy, they'll speak sweetly, and this devil, that's what he does. He speaks sweetly. But in his heart, he's imagining how to throw you into a pit, how to destroy you. He'll act like he there with you. He'll act like he for you. Just like these jakes have discovered. But the first time he find any opportunity to cross you, to wrong you in any way, form, he's going to do it. And he's not going to be satisfied with blood either. Verse 17, Salakia. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. So if you in a hard time like this, guess what? Esau the first one on the scene. Though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. So this devil be the first one on the scene. Yeah, I'm helping you. I'm here. Yeah. But then when whatever, we'll say the powers that be and their little enforcer groups come up, he just stand back and let them take you. He don't stand up for you. He gonna undermine you. He gonna come at you wrong. He gonna try you. Verse 18, he says he will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. So when things do come upon him, what they do is gonna shake his head. He gonna be like, ooh, oh, well, look here, you shouldn't have been undocumented. Hey, I understand, man. You know, I'm your friend, but hey, man, you can't do that. You know how Esau go. Clap his hands, talk trash to you, whisper, backbite. Say things behind your back that he wouldn't say to your face. He'll change his countenance. He'll eventually start acting like he don't know you. Let's go to Sirach 27 real quick, verse 23. This is Sirach chapter 27, verse 23. It says, when thou art present, he will speak sweetly, and will admire thy words, but at the last he will writhe his mouth and slander thy sayings. So again, when one that is an enemy, or the other word, frenemy, but still an enemy, when when you are present, guess what? He'll speak sweetly. He'll act like you got all this. He'll give you all this accolades and praise. He'll admire you in front of people. Face value. He'll do that at face value. He in face value. He'll man. But when you gone, or when you're not in his presence, guess what? He's gonna writhe his mouth and slander thy saints. He's gonna talk about you. He gonna act like you good. Oh yeah, this guy here in front of people. Gonna admire your words. Yeah, man, this guy he's smart, man. He said some good things, man. I've used it in my life a couple of times. Hey, man, it works. But guess what? Soon as you not nowhere around, that's when he gonna really show who he really is around those that's like him, or that he think he can reveal himself to. That's what he gonna do. And he gonna slander your sayings. He gonna talk trash behind your bike, not your back, your bike. Let's what this is. Let's continue. I think what this is. Nope, that ain't it. I think I read what I had bookmarked anyway. But let's see. I ain't got a little bit more time. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Psalms 58 and 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb; they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So they are estranged from the womb. So as soon as the wicked grows up and they're birthed into the world, they go astray. They don't follow a right path. They go to lying and telling. They basically go to lying and deceiving at a young age. Most Jake babies, they had to take them a little bit of time to grow up before they start understanding and learning how to do certain things, like lying and then being deceptive. But these devils, as soon as they be born, they go astray, speaking lies. As soon as they come out from the bowels of the woman that pushed them out. Tomfoolery. We've all seen videos. Let me see. 27 minutes. You know what? I'm gonna end it right there, and I could have got a couple more, but I'm gonna end it right there. And with that, shalom.